This is Leo Messi, and this is the second Messi. Okay, stop. It's not possible, because there is no other player like him. In fact, this gentleman does not need to be introduced to anyone, because the whole world knows him very well. He stole the hearts of many football fans, and his sports skills go beyond the scale. A modest boy off the pitch, but a monster on the playing field. How Messi get ahead of 99% of people? Does he really took steroids? I will tell you his biggest secret. If you want to know what allowed him to unleash his potential, you must watch the entire video, and do not forget to subscribe channel. Before he became a world-class star, he had to face many adversities. Messi almost didn't become a professional footballer. But why? When the Argentine was a child, he was diagnosed with growth hormone deficiency, which, to put it simply, did not grow. In the recordings from his childhood, you can see that he always stood out because he was smaller than his peers, which did not stop him from playing with the ball. But at the professional level, physical conditions play a huge role. To ensure normal physical development, the footballer had to take daily injections of growth hormone for several years. But who sponsored them? After all, the footballer and his family could not afford such an expense because it cost as much as $900 a month. Argentine clubs such as River Plate and Newell's Old Boys also resigned from financing this treatment. But it turned out that the treatment was paid for by FC Barcelona by signing a contract with Leo Messi on a napkin. Yes, you heard right. On this napkin. On December 14, 2000, Leo Messi's adventure with FC Barcelona officially began. On that day, the then Barcelona secretary, Carles Rexach, decided to sign a contract with the Argentine on his own responsibility. Messi had been on trials in Barcelona for some time, and the employment negotiations were dragging on to such an extent that his family was already losing patience. They threatened to leave Spain. The secretary was very keen to bring him to the club and decided to take the entire decision on himself, despite numerous objections in the club. While they were talking, they were sitting in the bar of the tennis club. There was no piece of paper there, so he reached for what he had at hand, a napkin on which they had drawn up the document. Who knows what would have happened next in Messi's career, if not for Carles Rexach's improvisation. The napkin on which they signed this contract can be seen in the FC Barcelona Museum. When Messi joined Barcelona, he was a shy boy. At that moment, the club's biggest star was Ronaldinho, and it was he who helped the Argentine acclimatize. They got along great on and off the pitch. You could even say that they became friends. Ronaldinho assisted the Argentine's first goal, and after the match, he said he was lucky to assist Messi's first goal. After some time, it's very nice to see someone who started so close to you and then conquered the football world. The Brazilian complimented his colleague. When Ronaldinho left Barcelona, he left behind a number of beautiful memories and the number 10 on the shirt, which the Argentine inherited from him. After each goal, Leo Messi raises two fingers and looks towards the sky. Even though he made this gesture hundreds of times in front of the whole world, probably not all fans know what it means. In this way, the Argentine pays tribute to his grandmother, Celia, who died when Leo was 11 years old. His grandmother was so important to Messi because she was the one who took him to his first training session. Moreover, she asked the interim coach of the children's group to push Messi into the senior group. During the match, she insisted on the coach to let little Leon on the field and did not let go until the coach agreed. The coach did not want to introduce little Messi because he was afraid that he might get hurt. But finally, under pressure from his grandmother, he gave in and decided to let him into the playing field. It was a good decision because Messi put on a show for the older boys on the pitch. He passed anyone who stood in his way. He literally left the coaches stunned. And after the match, the grandmother told the coach to buy Messi cleats, and then she would take him to the next training session. Did you know that the Argentinian footballer once had terrible problems with maintaining a proper diet? I wonder if you remember when Leo had a problem with vomiting during matches. This happened quite often to Messi for a certain period of his career. Various theories circulated in the media, but after some time the footballer denied the rumors and admitted that he had been eating chocolate in large quantities before the match for several years, which, when under greater stress, resulted in the footballer having stomach problems. For this reason, Guardiola caused all candy bar machines to be removed from all Barcelona sports facilities so that they would not tempt the Argentine. Did you know that Messi has a phobia that he spent millions on? Amaxophobia is defined as the fear of driving or being a passenger in a car or other vehicle. One of the biggest football stars suffers from this condition, all because his father and brother were once involved in terrible car accidents. It's a difficult thing because his work is very much based on constant traveling around the world. However, Messi found a way to do it. The former Barcelona star has a car collection worth over $50 million, but these cars provide him with great security. The Argentine does not hide the fact that he prefers comfort and safety over supercars. But a car is not the only expense on which Messi spent millions. You should also know that Messi bought a private jet worth 50 million euros. While playing for Barcelona, Messi decided to improve communication for himself and his family from Buenos Aires, which is why he decided to buy a jet. This plane was designed for him with personalized elements. There is the number 10 on the tail and the names of his family members on the steps. Interestingly, this purchase soon became one of the biggest controversies. Journalists studied all the star's flights over a period of 3 months. Messi made 52 trips around the world, but the traveling itself was not the problem. The calculations showed that during this period, the Argentine emitted as much carbon dioxide as the average Frenchman did in 150 years. This is not the end of Messi's adventures with planes. During the qualifications for the World Cup in Russia, Argentina played against Brazil in an away match. The match went badly for Albicelestes. They lost 0-3. The entire Argentine team was so embarrassed after the match that the players wanted to fly out of Brazil as soon as possible. This way, instead of waiting for one of Messi's private jets, the entire team flew with Bolivarian airline Lamia. The players managed to jump on the plane at the last moment. It was a mistake. A routine trip to Buenos Aires turned into a nightmare. The electronics on the plane went crazy, and it turned out that there was only fuel left for 20 minutes of flight. From that point on, the pilots had 18 minutes to find a place to land, and then 2 minutes to perform the maneuver. The plane started shaking. The pilots panicked. They were screaming for an emergency landing site. Fortunately, they managed to land in Bolivia. After landing, Messi and company quickly changed planes and flew to the next match. What I'm about to say is terrifying. The plane, which had to make an emergency landing, was fully refueled and set off on another flight, just with another team on board. Unfortunately, this trip ended in disaster. It was the Chapecoense team that set off on its last journey. As many as 71 people died during this flight. Messi and the entire Argentine national team can speak of great happiness. As you can see, Messi had to sacrifice a lot to get ahead 99% of people. There was also a whole lot of luck and persistence, because he did not give up despite numerous adversities. However, we cannot forget that Leo Messi has growth hormone flowing in his veins, and without it, he would certainly not be the best footballer in history. Let me know what you think about Messi. Thank you for watching the episode. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss the next videos.